All right, so for those kettlebell swings, same thing. You want to squat down or hip hinge, do an RDL to grab that kettlebell. You want to go wide, right? Not too wide, just a little bit wide enough so because the kettlebell is going to go, it's going to go through you, under your feet, under your legs, through your legs. With this one, I actually like to tell people to keep their toes forward or maybe slightly out to the side, right? Depending on how comfortable you feel. I've seen some people go all the way out. I honestly don't recommend that. I feel like that puts too much pressure on the lower waist, on the hips. So I honestly don't recommend that, right? But anyways, you want to go wider, just outside hip width, right? And all you're doing is pushing hips back, pushing hips forward. Hips go back, hips go forward. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way back up. Now, one mistake that I see a lot of people do all the time is they try to control the weight. They try to make it a front raise and not a kettlebell swing. So usually they bring it up, they try to hold it and back down. They try to hold it and back down. That's not a kettlebell swing. That's a front raise with, that's a fucked up front raise, to be honest, because now you're doing a front raise while swinging. Not good, right? All you're doing is swinging. There's no need to control the weight, all right? The only thing you're controlling is your body. So kind of switch the roles around. During most exercises, about 95% of the exercises, you're controlling the weight. With the kettlebell swing, you're controlling your body, right? So you're not controlling the weight, you're controlling your body. So that way, the kettlebell can swing properly. So whenever I say you want to control your body, you're gonna bring it up, then drop it back down. Bring it up, drop it back down. You want to follow that kettlebell. You want to follow that kettlebell the whole time. So if the kettlebell is here in front of you, the moment it starts going down, your arms start going down, all right? The moment it goes back and starts going forward again, that's when the moment your body starts going forward again, all right? So technically, you're like this the whole time, all right? Technically, you're like this the whole time. You're not here, you're not here, you're not anywhere else. Technically, this is the only position you're in the whole time once you start the movement. And the only thing that's moving around is your hips going back and your hips going forward, which technically that's what you're working. You're working the hips, you're working the glutes, you're working the hamstrings, right? Yes, you are working back. Yes, you're working some arms. But that kind of tension just depends on how you perform the movement, which is a little bit of advanced, and I'll talk about it more in a different exercise. But it's mostly for the hips, to get the hip strength, and the glutes, and some hamstrings in there. So once again, this is the movement that you're technically keeping the whole time, right? The only thing that's moving is the hips. Watch here. See, as the kettlebell goes down, your body goes down, your body goes forward, your hips go back. The moment that kettlebell comes back up, that's the moment your hips push back through. All right? So there is no, you shouldn't feel it on the shoulders, you shouldn't feel it on the forearms, you shouldn't feel it on the wrist, the arms, the biceps, the triceps, the shoulders, right? None of that. All hips and glutes.